Today, I'm going to test the theory that 5 minutes matters. This is a concept from Dana K. White of A Slob Comes Clean. I mention her a lot because I'm a big fan of hers. And she talks about how a lot of times we feel overwhelmed by all of the work that needs to be done. But really, if we work in just 5-minute chunks, really fast and hard for 5 minutes, we can make big differences in our house. So today, I'm going to try doing my living room in 5 minutes. Hey everybody, welcome to Simple and Healthy Mama. I'm so glad to have you here. For everybody who's watching, if you could help me out and just hit the like button right now, that helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Now, actually, if you look over my shoulder here, this part doesn't look so bad, but check this out. Yeah, we're gonna work on this area. This is our toy area, and it's become unmanageable. So I'm gonna see what I can do in 5 minutes. So I'd like to note that yes, I am picking up my kids' toys. I do not usually do that. I usually make them do it. They left rather quickly with the grandparents a few days ago for a cabin trip, and this was left. It didn't get cleaned up. I would rather have it cleaned up than just sitting out, so I'm just gonna do it, and I'm just gonna spend 5 minutes on it just to make it look presentable and a little more visually calm for myself. Okay, Google, start a 5-minute timer. Here goes. So I want to point out a couple of things as you watch me running around here like a crazy person for 5 minutes trying to get this space cleaned up. The first is that you'll see me disappear off screen sometimes, and that is because I'm really trying to follow the idea of dealing with things when I pick them up, not just making piles and piles and piles of stuff that then need to be dealt with later. That way, if you only have 5 minutes, you actually can make only progress forward and not just make a bigger mess or more work for yourself later. If you're ever not sure at all where to start, definitely start with your black trash bag and looking for trash, because you would be amazed how much trash, especially when you're doing kids stuff, you will find. A lot of what I was doing here was just putting things back where they belong, and I've tried to make their toy area as easy as possible for anyone to clean up so that no matter how bad it gets, we can get it back into some semblance of order in a small amount of time. So we've got giant Lego bins, and then I got one of those IKEA cube shelves where I have the rest of their toys sorted by category, and we've greatly reduced that down to just a few main categories. We have our Lego manuals in one, we have doll stuff in one, and we have dress-up stuff in 2 of those. Then we have a couple of open cabinets that we use for board games and puzzles, and that's it. Then there's their tall cabinet on the right, and that is their craft cabinet. It needs its own overhaul. I might attempt 5 minutes matters on that as well, because it really needs some help. Whew, okay, I'm actually sweating. That was a lot of work, but 5 minutes of work, I got a little exercise in, and that's a lot better, right? I just straightened things up, put things away. I wasn't cleaning anything. 5 minutes matters. So something that I've learned is that a lot of times when your whole house is feeling out of control, finding a place that is really visual for you, like by the front door when people first come in, or the dining room that you're trying to use to eat in, whatever's really irritating you is a great place to start, because you can make a big difference in a short amount of time by just getting stuff cleared off and put away and decluttered. And then you feel really good about your progress, and that doing these little 5-minute sessions really can motivate you to do more of them if you start with the really visual places that are bothering you the most. So this was really driving me nuts. 5 minutes, done. Now I can move on with my day. I am wanting to still declutter the kids' toys even further than I have. I haven't done a really good go through recently, and this is feeling like it gets out of control pretty quickly. So I need to do that, but that's not what I was doing today. I stayed focused. I just did my 5 minutes. I might run a quick dust rag over the top of that surface there, because when it's covered in stuff, I can't get to it and can't get it clean. But if you tidy first, then it's much easier to clean. And if there's less stuff there, most of the time I'd be able to clean a lot better. So we do need to work on that, but that's for another day. For now, give it a go. 5 minutes, set a timer, play some fun music. Next up, I think I'm gonna try doing 5 minutes matters in my kids' room, because as you can see, it's gotten a bit out of control. Again, I don't usually actually clean up my kids' stuff for them. I make them do it, or I do it with them to teach them how to do it. But I wanted to do another 5 minutes matters, and I didn't have another spot in my house that was as obviously cluttered and would show you the difference that 5 minutes really can make. So let's get going. In this space, I am gonna try and find a few things to get rid of, as well as just look for trash and things that aren't in their home. All right, so I'm setting the clock. Here we go. Since our kids are currently sharing a room at least for a little bit longer while we use the other room for a staging area for our bathroom remodel, the room is a little bit cluttered. It's not how I would ideally like for it to be, but I knew that I could at least improve upon this with a quick 5 minutes. All right, I am finding trash. This is empty. This is not a coaster. This is empty. Okay. On top of their bookshelf here, I did find a lot of things that I can't throw away without asking them first. And I'm sure some of it is sentimental, although some of it just looks like junk to me, but you can never tell. So I am going to ask them about a few things, and certainly they can keep things that are really special to them. But perhaps instead of having it all right here, a little more of it could go in their cubbies. They each have a little cupboard in the dining room. I think it's supposed to be for linens, but we've let them each have a little cupboard that's sort of their secret place where they can put whatever they want that's special to them that I might otherwise want to throw away if I just found it lying around the house. So some of this can go down there. The bookshelf in front of me that we use to store all of our children's books is another one of those IKEA cube shelves. It's not aesthetically my first choice, but man, does it work well, and it holds a ton of stuff. Our kids actually share this dresser, and the bottom is just for pajamas. So basically they each get only a couple of drawers to hold all of their clothes, and they don't actually use the closet for that many things because they're little kids, so they don't hang that much up. And our daughter isn't even into dresses very much right now. So everything has to go in this one dresser. My time is up. As you can see, 5 minutes really does matter. I actually found a lot of trash, not a ton to declutter, probably because I didn't go through their clothes, and I do want to go through their books with them, but it looks so much better, and now I can see what needs to actually be dealt with, and I've at least removed the trash and the things that just didn't belong here. So if you're not sure of where to start, that's always a great place to start. Finding trash and putting things in their home. So things that aren't supposed to live in this space need to go to the space they are supposed to live in. All right, until next time, you've got this, mamas.